You're watching Diecast Breakdown with Chuck Ellis, David Johns, and Mark McHotwheel. So sit back, strap in, and hang on. The breakdown starts now.
Well, hey there, folks. Chuck here, and welcome to Diecast Breakdown. We are so excited to have you joining us here live today as we're going to be talking about displays, dioramas, and dudes of the diecast variety. We are joined by Dan today of Diecast Dude. You might be familiar with his channel, and he's going to be talking to us later about all sorts of really cool stuff, ranging from displays to his time at Namek and a whole bunch of other stuff. And David sends his regrets. He is celebrating his birthday with his wife on a impromptu vacation. So he sends his regards and love to all of you, and he will be back in the next episode. But before we get too far, I must ask Mark, my amazing guest, co-host, guest, what is going on? All right, co-host, what is exciting you in the world of diecast, sir?
Well, I first must congratulate David on another year here on the earth.
Yes.
So happy birthday, buddy. If you're watching.
Birthday,
if you're not, then just, take it back.
He's probably enjoying one of their fabulous pizza / hot dog things that they have.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So some things that are exciting me in the world of diecast here. There's a few. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out, and we don't have time to go over it all. But the number one thing that's exciting me is the Tarmac Works oil can cars here. There's a collection of them. The one that's not actually listed on that picture is the one I bought. It's a BRE one. So of course I have to buy everything BRE related. So I just purchased that, I think yesterday. So those just hit the market. I've been looking at them like every other day to see when they're popping up, and they just hit the market. So I don't know if all of these are available yet, but I know that the BRE one is, and I think I've seen that, the Marlboro type one. I know that they had to change some things on that, copyright issues, like everything. So I'm excited about that. That's a really cool idea. I love what Tarmac Works is doing with their imagination. They also collab with a lot of different diecast companies, and they are there. You go. Oh, he's got it.
Dan's already got it.
Yeah. So I'm excited about all the stuff that they've got coming out. It's refreshing. It's like new stuff. It's not the same stuff you see all the time, which gets a little bit boring. So I'm excited to get that. Another one that I stumbled upon today is the Jada Toys 187 scale Turtle Lair diorama set, and it comes with the figures and party wagon here. Have David pull that, or have Chuck pull that up again.
That's all right. That was not it.
Oh, it wasn't?
It was not it. This is it.
There it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Heroes in the half shell.
Yeah, so any 80s babies out there, you'll really love this because, we grew up with Ninja Turtles. And, of course, people in the, kids nowadays, they love them as well because they've kind of carried on. But this is a nice little diorama. It's just cool, and something that I might consider picking up. So check that out. And then it's a smaller scale one. It's 187th, and it's called Nano Scene. And so that's pretty cool. Another one, next one in line here, I've got this, and this was a Chuck truck. So I saw this and I thought of Chuck. So
yes,
we've got this F250 92 F250 long bed with the Winnebago.
Love it.
Slide-in camper, and it's just a clean, cool truck. It's something that I think would be cool as a part of your collection. If you're into like stock type vehicles here, such as Chuck, I do like them too. I'm sure David will appreciate this as well. And so, yeah, look out for that. That's expected 10/31 of 23, about $10 for it. So it's not too bad. And that's a 1/64 scale. And then we've got Magic City here. It's a Mazda showroom and Japanese squid yaki shop. And this is acrylic and PVC, and also 1/64 scale. So this one's released. I think I looked at their site. I'm trying to remember which site I was looking at on this. There was 2 left. So they're out there, but I think they're
Mhm.
limited. So there's a
They
couple
are.
different variations that you can get, and you can combine them together, I think, with some of the other stuff they have.
Mhm. Mhm.
This one's got it's LED powered by 2 AA batteries. And so you'll see like the little lights on down there,
Mhm.
the little storefront thing. So that's pretty cool. And I think that might be the only light on that thing.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Look out for that. If you want one, buy one soon, because like anything that's really cool and unique, it sells out pretty quick.
Mhm.
Last but not least for me here, I've got this Miho exclusive case, which is really, really cool. I think we've talked about cases, I don't know, 1,000 times on this ship,
Mhm.
and it's hard to find like good cases, and there's
Sure.
not a lot out there. You can find some cool stuff on Etsy and different sites, from Asia. What's that other? What's the one you and David?
Oh,
like?
Temu,
Yeah, Temu,
Alibaba. Yeah.
Alibaba. Those kind of sites you can find them, but this is a little bit more. You can see this pretty quickly. Price isn't bad.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember how much this thing cost. I think it was around. I think it was $80, something like that. So this is pretty cool because it's lit from the top, and I think the sides as well, and then it's got a reflective.
Mhm.
So as you can see in the picture, it lights everything up really well. So
Mhm.
all those like really cool cars that you have, or maybe the customs that people have sent you or that you've done, it
Mhm.
is a great thing to hang on the wall. And so I'm
Sure.
excited about this. I may have to pick that up because, like
Mhm.
I said, it's hard to find nice cases, and this one looks really well made. So
Sure. Good
that's all I
stuff,
know.
man. Those
Yeah.
are some really solid picks, and that feeds right into our discussion that we'll be having later. Before we get too much farther, again, I want to give a shout out to our patrons that support the show, especially our executive producer level patrons. Thank you so much for helping keep things going. First and 64th Customs, Video Geek Productions, Twice Diecast, wherever he may be, and Donald Rashik. And so those are our top tier patrons. If you want to know more about supporting the show, you can visit diecastmedianetwork.com or diecastbreakdown.com. Both of them will take you to our Patreon page, or you can click the links down below. So another thing I wanted to shout out before we get too much farther, our small channel shout out this week is Mike's Mods and Customs. So his link will be down below. Go check him out. And on with the rest of the news. First, I want to be a big shout out to the Diecast Day of Giving, which is coming up very soon. It's almost September. I can't believe it's almost September. That's over at drivendreams.org, and that will be October 14th, 2023. We are raising 20,000 cars to donate to kids around the world in need, and it's a really cool process. It's very easy to do, and you can get all the details for that over at drivendreams.org. And speaking of that, one of the things that we're doing to kind of help promote awareness to this is we are doing a Maisto build off with one of the senior designers over at Maisto, Eddie Castro himself, serving as a celebrity judge. And Maisto, the actual brand Maisto, is kicking in prizes for this custom contest. It will be due September 16th. You can do any Maisto casting that you want, any style that you want. Just send a photo of your build for judging to diecastbreakdown@gmail.com by September 16th of this year. I know several of the customizers who are already in are going to be auctioning off their builds, including myself, for to raise money for the Diecast Day of Giving. And Eddie is super cool. He's really excited to judge this stuff. So mark your calendars and pay attention to that and spread the word when we post about it so that other people know and they can join in. Another thing that I wanted to shout out, we've got Outland Models is kind of a mixed bag company. They've got a lot of different stuff. They do 3D printing and they have some more traditional styrene based kits. I've followed their stuff for a while. It's pretty good. I've seen better, I've seen worse, and their price point is very, very reasonable. They have some new sets that I thought were very cool. Like there's a 1/64 scale fishing boat. They've got this cafe set that looks really cool that comes with furniture. They've got some larger building sets. It's definitely stuff that would be more for an experienced builder, but a lot of really cool stuff out there. I think they're worth checking out and supporting. Our friends over at Round 2 have brought back a couple of castings that I really like. The Monkey Mobile is back. They had a diorama set up before. It's not really a diorama, it's more of a display set, but they called it a diorama, so I'm calling it a diorama. Of the iconic Dean Jeffries designed 1966 Pontiac GTO. And the 1974 Dodge Monaco from the Blues Brothers is back, this time sporting that iconic speaker on the roof. Very cool design and very good take on the weathering on that build. I still think the Greenlight one is better. It's better proportioned and better scaled, but I do appreciate the effort that they put into the paint on this one. Our friends over at M2, these have been announced for a while, but I've been seeing photos of the belly tanker race car surfacing online, and Diecast Direct says that they will be shipping them starting next week. So that's pretty exciting. It's a really cool casting. It's nice to see them adding new stuff. They also have a 68, 69 Dodge Dart. That's going to be a new tooling. No word yet on when that comes out, though. And once again, shout out to Mike's Mods and Customs. Go check out his channel. That is the small channel shout out. So, Dan, did you have any news you wanted to share? You sent a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I sent a lot of photos. Yeah.
Do we want to do that now, or do you want to share that later?
Well, you were talking about Magic City diorama, and
yes.
Well, I can say they're very good. I did a couple of reviews about Magic City dioramas on my channel. The quality is really good, and yeah, definitely worth buying.
Yeah, I agree. I had some nitpicks with that hobby shop set that I bought, and I did a review of it as well. And definitely check out Dan's reviews. They're very, very good and very thorough. But yeah, I think they're really cool. They're expensive. I wish they were a little easier to get. You know, the quantity is kind of limited. They had this really cool motel one that I would love to have gotten, but it is unfortunately out of circulation. I'm hoping it'll come back in a different variant. But anyway,
well, a couple of these dioramas are already back. The Tamiya store is back, but I've heard that the quality is not as good as the first one they released.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also, the garage is also back. The RWB garage. They also released that one a year or 2 years ago, and now it's back. And same problem with the quality.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame. Well, hopefully they can pick things back up there. Oh, and before I forget, folks, if you've got news that you want to share, email diecastbreakdown@gmail.com, and we will give a shout out to you on the show. I forgot to get the graphic for this, but for those who don't know, my brother Justin sent me a picture of a dump bin that's offering a pinball machine giveaway for Hot Wheels. This is kind of cool. It'll be an ultimate man cave accessory. I think that's only available in the United States, unfortunately. But
imagine what shipping's going to be like on that.
Right? Those things are heavy. So
very heavy. Have you ever tried to steal one?
No.
Not neither lately. I mean,
no. For legal purposes, I would say no. But so okay. Well, Dan, sorry, we were talking about Magic City and the diorama kits. So what else you got?
Now, there is a lot of news in Diecast world because there are a lot of new Diecast brands. Recently, I bought Almost Real. I think that brand is familiar for 118 scale, but they also got a 164 scale. And then we have Jackie Kim Diecast. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but
I'm not.
No,
I'll show you one car that I did a review about. Hopefully, I can show it a little bit.
Oh yes,
right. Yes. It's weathered pickup. This Toyota Hilux, and I don't think it's licensed, but it is really cool. Got a metal body, metal base, tons of details. So that's definitely worth buying. But we also have brands like Hobby Japan, Master. There is this other brand. What was it? Diecast Team, which also comes with a very nice cars.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that is sweet.
Yeah.
Rubber tires. Lots of details. Also a red interior, which I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. 2-color interior, it looks like. Nice.
Yes, 2-color interior. So yeah, definitely a lot of new things here in Diecast world.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about that more when we come back, when we talk more about Namek. Rico brought up a good thing too. For those of you in the United States, Ollie's has Johnny Lightning's back in stock, and Hobby Lobby is now selling Hot Wheels premiums. So that is some good news for us in the US to check out.
Probably at a premium price.
Probably at a premium price. Yeah, Hobby Lobby is not cheap, and they have gotten rid of their coupons. So I don't really shop there anymore because the deal is not that great. But anyway, all right. Well, cool. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Dan about Namek and dioramas and displays. So stick around.
We'll be back with more Diecast Breakdown after this word from our sponsors. If you have a favorite Diecast channel with less than 700 subscribers and you'd like to see them highlighted on a future episode, email us at diecastbreakdown@gmail.com. The Diecast Media Network store is here. Wear your passion with pride, featuring designs from Diecast Breakdown, Flying Valiant builds, plus unique designs inspired by diecast culture from Justin Ellis. Visit tpublic.com/Diecast Media Network now.
Hey, this is Champion DJ K, and you're watching Diecast Breakdown.
And now back to Diecast Breakdown.
All right, well, we are back with the Diecast Dude himself, and we are going to be talking about dioramas and displays. But first, Dan, you just got back from a really epic trip to Namek, which is, for those who don't know, the world's largest diecast show. And you just released some pretty epic coverage of it. So I wanted to talk about that really quick. So tell us, what that experience was like. Was this your first time attending?
First of all, I have to be a little bit honest. I always say that it is the biggest diecast event in the world. But I'm not sure. But I never had any comment from someone who said, well, there is a bigger one. So till then, it is the biggest diecast car event in the world. And if you come there, you're not going to believe your eyes because it's massive. 2 big halls filled with sellers selling diecast. Yeah, and that's enormous. The first time I came there, I was like, whoa. And then there were actually 3 halls. And I think the one in December is always the biggest one because of Christmas and Santa Claus, anything. So then they have 3 halls. It is 6 times a year. I think that's also a lot because most of the time event that is this big, you think, okay, once a year, it's enough. No, 6 times a year. Every 2 months, this event takes place.
Wow.
So I always say it's the mecca of diecast. You have to visit this place once in your life, if possible.
It sounds super cool. And, the coverage is fantastic. I highly recommend everybody go check that out on his channel. But do you have any advice for people attending the show, what they should do to prepare, what to expect?
Bring empty suitcase with you.
Yeah, bring money. Lots of
and
money.
a wallet filled with money.
Yeah, a full suitcase full of money and one empty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Any advice? Well, I never go there with a list with things I want. Just go there, and if you see something cool, you buy it for hopefully a reasonable price. Because there are sellers that are pretty expensive, but you can make some really good deals at Namek event.
Good to know.
And because it is so big, you will always find something. You will never go home empty-handed.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh man. My brother was just at one a smaller diecast show this weekend in North Carolina. That was very cool. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to go to a toy fair or one of these types of events, absolutely go. They're just a ton of fun. You meet all sorts of really cool people. And there are these groups and these events happen all over the world. You know, they're in America, they're certainly quite easy to get to. We actually had our first one in Gainesville, which is a small town. So I was shocked that we actually had there's a company that does toy fairs all over the Southeast, and they had their first one in Gainesville. So that was very exciting. And that was more of a toy fair thing. So it wasn't just diecast, but it's still, you know, quite a few diecast people out there, and you can find some really good deals and meet some really cool stuff. Rico is asking where in North Carolina. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to pull that thing up, and I'll get you in touch with that one, Rico. But yeah, it's a really cool thing, and you know, once you buy all the die casts and you get them home and you have to sort them out. One of the things that we're talking about today is displays and dioramas. And Dan, you've reviewed quite a few, just about every diorama maker out there that I've seen. So, you know, we wanted to talk to you about dioramas and displays and some of the things that you've noticed recently, the trends and stuff. So let's get started with, if I wanted to get started with a diorama or just getting my feet wet with a way to display my die casts, what would be the first thing that you would do to recommend?
Well, the first thing I did when I thought about dioramas, I bought that mouse mat material parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're familiar with that.
Yes.
That was my first experience with a diorama.
Mm-hmm.
And then you keep searching and you find out that there are more professional dioramas. And I have a couple. Maybe I can switch the camera to the front so I can show you some dioramas. Is that an idea?
I love it.
I hope I'm not. I'm not going to ruin the show or something. But
no, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Well,
okay,
we'll do our best to describe for the audio listeners as well, but we can absolutely do that. So
okay. Facing back, camera 2.
There we go. All right.
Yes.
See the Back to the Future DeLorean. And
is it working? Wait.
Nissan Skyline.
Michael J. right there.
Yep. There he is. Hoverboard and all. That's very
okay.
cool.
Now I'm going to take my camera off the display stand and I'm going to show you some.
All right. So we're looking at, it looks like kind of like a tall building, a 2-story building.
This is one of my latest dioramas. It is from AliExpress. I have a lot of dioramas from AliExpress. And it's a good place to get dioramas and also for a reasonable price. This is, the downside of buying dioramas if you're living in Europe or in the States. Most of the dioramas that are made are with Chinese signs because in Asia it is very popular to make photos with diecast cars in combination with dioramas. But to be honest, I like that Chinese style. It's kind of my thing, so I don't mind. But if you're living in Europe or in the States and you want dioramas from your area, well, I think we have to wait a little bit longer till the diorama hype is really starting here. This is actually a really good one. I did some modifications, some grass and some posters on Instagram. I bought 164 posters from someone named Akara.
Nice.
But I also have this one right here.
Oh wow, that's a great.
This is a handmade diorama from a woman in Indonesia, and Indonesia is really big when it's about dioramas. They have some really professional dioramas. If you see some of those dioramas on Instagram, you will not believe what you see. That is crazy cool. Here I have a smaller one, also from AliExpress. Really simple. It also comes with light, But I'm never using that. But it's perfect for making photos.
Yeah, those are great. And for the people listening, we're looking at a scene that looks like a 2-lane blacktop road stretching through the woods on the one, and there's very nice realistic trees, and then there's some the other one was like a kind of 2-wall display, like a parking lot with a wall and some
Well,
trees.
a wall can be pretty handy because if you place a car and you're going to make a photo, then a wall is really welcome.
Sure. Yeah.
For the
I like
background.
that it even has a little mirror, like the kind of mirror that's domed so you can see around corners, like so somebody can see. So you could even catch light off of that or catch a reflection off that. That's very cool.
Okay, then I have my Magic City dioramas right here. I hope you can see because the light here in this room is not really good. Okay, this is one of the latest I bought, and this is from the Fast and Furious. So you get this house and you get this barn. Yeah, there it is.
Those they look like burnout marks, like outside of it. But
yeah, there are burnout marks. That's right. Then
really
I was talking about that RWB garage. That is this one right here.
That's cool.
Oh wow, that looks great. So then these are all made of like plexi and PVC, right?
Yeah, but the quality is really good.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a very, very wide range of quality. Oh, that's cool. It's even got like toolboxes and there's posters and brickwork and and lights up.
Work. Yeah, the lights is working.
Yeah. The thing that I really liked about the Magic City hobby shop that I got is it was actually like this one's got a mix of warm and cool LEDs. So where it would have been lit with like fluorescent lights, it had a cooler, almost like a blue-green tint to it. And then in the house and the garage where they would have used incandescent lights, it had warmer color LEDs. I think that's a very nice touch. It's not all just the same light.
Yep.
So what are we looking at here? This Bajas one.
Okay, yeah. The Nikita diorama, also from Magic City. I think it's a liquor store. Also, yeah, good quality, and it's a high building, and that's really handy if you want to make photos with diecast. And that's the same for this Lawson diorama. It is really cool.
Wow. Yeah.
Then I also have this one. I can bring it here in the light. That's a little bit better. This is from G-Fence. And G-Fence also has really cool parking lot dioramas. And they even have a diecast car store.
What?
And that one, yes, they have a diecast car store. And I've got it right here.
Oh, man. Look at that.
I hope the quality is
You
good.
can see it's got a little shelf out front, and there's some cars in the display window, little tiny model cars on the counter.
Yeah, there is also a light. It comes with light, but I can't switch the light on right now. That's a little bit difficult.
I like the dog peeing on the pole. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you've got a lot of figures too. Are those the Miho figures, or where are you getting your figures from?
Ooh, those figures are coming from many places. So these here in front of this diorama, this is from an initial D diorama. They actually come with the diorama, but this one here on top is from the race model store on AliExpress.
Nice.
But if we go a little bit, this one is from American Diorama. Here, that one.
Yes.
Yeah. He's dead, yeah. These here are also from American. Hey, look at this car.
Hey, look at that car.
Would you look at that, sir?
I'll look at that one twice.
That's a very cool car.
Twice diecast, a Lotus.
Am I a lucky dude or not?
All right. Yeah,
but American Diorama is also available in the States, right?
Yeah, they have a lot of stuff available in the States. It's kind of weird. They're using some Johnny Lightning stuff in there. Like they've got a project car one that was like a truck that had the body of a Johnny Lightning Little Red Express Dodge, and then they had another one that was a Toyota Land Cruiser project car on a trailer. So they're using some of their stuff. But yeah, their stuff is, I speak from experience, very, very good. It looks really nice. And wow, we got like RoboCop and the Enforcer over there.
Oh, the little Hot Wheels vending machine.
Vending machine.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, the vending machine is really cool.
Is that a Smurf?
Yeah, I also got Smurfs.
Yeah,
I love
that's
how
amazing.
random,
And there's a woman bending over talking to the
Like,
Smurfs. That's
hey,
awesome.
Smurf.
I also got this one. I'm going to show you here in the light.
Yeah. A 1/64 scale Smurf. That is tiny. Oh, look, you got Egon Spengler there.
Yeah,
That's
really
cool.
detailed.
Wow,
that's
that
cool,
is
huh?
incredible for
Yeah.
1/64 scale. Like, it actually almost looks like there's weathering on the proton pack. That is incredible.
Thing's really detailed for being so small.
But these figures are really professional, and I got those from JMG on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And they sell these figures. I got all of them, so that's 4 in total.
Mm-hmm.
Here I got another one from that. Whoa.
And that Firehouse, that's the Funko Pop Firehouse, right?
That is the Funko Pop Firehouse,
Mhm.
and it's pretty much 1/64 scale.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I've got that myself, and you got a little Fox Dude. That's awesome. Is that from that Instagram gentleman as well?
JMG.
JMG, love it.
Yeah, the Funko Pop house is actually perfect. Okay, I got also Batman figure here on top.
You got Batman lurking over the Ghostbuster house. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That Batman figure is from AliExpress.
Mm-hmm.
But these figures are, I believe, $30 a piece.
Wow.
So they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, but the detail is incredible.
Yeah, that one's cool right there.
Yeah, that looks like American Diorama.
And, the figure here on the left is American Diorama, but this is from More Art. More Art recently came with some pretty cool figures in combination with. So I did a video about this motorcycle repair girl, and they released a lot of 1/64 motorbikes, so including this girl
cool.
I just showed you.
Mm-hmm. And that's such a rare thing too. Like, I'm glad that we're getting more of that, because it's been frustrating for years thinking, okay, well, the only motorcycles I can get that are sort of 1/64 are like those Hot Wheels ones that are always like way too big. Oh, it's nice to have actual true 1/64 scale motorcycles available.
Okay, you can open this.
All right, we got some tiny figures in a foam case here.
See if I can put them in the light.
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of my figures.
Oh, wow. So let's see RoboCop. I see a Stormtrooper, the Stig. Looks like Doc Brown, Marty McFly.
Yeah, I got another McFly right here.
Yeah.
This is also a good one.
Yeah, that's the hoverboard guy, and it actually looks like the hoverboard's floating. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
Yeah. And that's from JMG?
Yep, that is from JMG.
Yeah. I mean, the $30 is a lot for a figure, but man, like these
from JMG are a lot cheaper.
Oh wow,
they go around for $20, which is still expensive for one figure.
But if you that really makes the scene. I mean, he actually looks like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, this one is a lot cheaper, and I think it's also definitely a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Not as detailed as the other one. We got the Stick. We got this from Breaking Bad. The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Another The Rock. Some military figures also in 1/64.
Wow.
Will Smith from what's it?
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend with the dog. So that's also pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Dustin.
Do I have more? Yeah, I've got these dioramas right here. Most of them are from More Art. I think you did a review about this one, right?
I did. That's the little convenience store. So it looks like you've detailed yours out with a vending machine, and I love that Twin Pines Mall sign on top of it too. Like I know that's from Back to the Future. But,
Yes.
yeah. I didn't know something like that was available, but that is super cool.
Yeah. It is from FSC movies. I can't see the brand.
That's interesting.
I think it's from Trix. I think it's from the brand Trix.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
And they also have this right here. It's actually 143, but you can also use it for 164.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like the gates at the front of Marty McFly's neighborhood. It looks like the lion estate.
Exactly.
That's very cool. So, and I know what you mean about it. It feels like dioramas lately are very Asia focused, very Chinese, Japanese focused. There are more folks doing US based stuff. It seems like the US diorama crowd, they're doing a lot more with laser cut wood than acrylics and plastics, which, brings its own set of challenges because, most of them are not available done. I just talked to Craig over at Wetworks Customs. I just did a review of his one of his mechanic kits, and he actually has a laser cut wood kit with a garage door that has hinges and opens, and it's very cool. And he actually offers, I think it's like an extra $70, and he'll paint the kit for you and send it to you like ready to assemble. But that's considerably more involved. Like these are just pretty much open them, add some details, and go. And wow, it's really great to see some of your collection. So we're talking about displays here. You've got a ton of really great shelf space. So really a great way to show off these kits in action. And so a question that I get a lot is a lot of people that say, oh, well, I want to buy from AliExpress or I want to buy from Temu, but I'm afraid I'll get ripped off. And, I don't really, I guess it can happen, but, do you have some advice for people who would want to consider going on one of those kind of marketplaces to buy stuff like that?
On AliExpress?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, AliExpress is really, really safe. The buyer is king on AliExpress. If something is wrong with your product, you can start a dispute and you get your money back. That's how easy it is. You can communicate with the seller, and you can always see if a seller will answer because you have this. What's the name of it? The 95%.
Oh, like a percentage rating.
Yeah. You see how good they are, what review they get. And when it's above 95%, you can say, that's a good seller. That's a good seller. And you can always send them a message from, hey, do you have that product in stock? Because a lot of, but sometimes you see a product that you really want and you buy it, and then you get a message from the seller, hey, that product is no longer in stock. Maybe you want something else. Well, if you don't want that, you can get your money back the same day. So don't worry about that. AliExpress is really, really safe.
Yeah, I've had good experience. I've never had to, knock wood, never had to report someone or get my money back from them, but that's usually because I will not buy from somebody unless they have like well over 95% as their reputation rating or their review rating. But yeah, I like beyond that, like you're buying from these guys on Instagram, and you're buying from like this woman in Indonesia. How did you find her, and how did you make that purchase?
Wait a minute. I'm back. Sorry.
All good. We're all back. So, just curious about how that came about.
Well, I can tell you, at first I was, YouTube is enough for me. I'm not going to start another social media account, and then somebody said, well, try Instagram, it's really easy. And so I did, and I found out it is a great place for a diecast collector to find out about new stuff. Also, it's a great place to find out where new Hot Wheels main lines start to pop up, which store has new Hot Wheels main lines, etc., or other Hot Wheels or Matchbox. But it is also a great place to meet people that are making incredible dioramas or custom cars. So, and that's how I find out about her name is a little bit difficult. It's Bunga Maizeri, I believe. Sorry if I say her name. It's so good. But she makes incredible dioramas. You can pay with PayPal, and she packed the diorama really well. And it's a miracle that it comes in not broken.
Sure, because that had a lot of that looked like a lot of seafoam trees, which are made from an actual plant called seafoam, and so those things can be very, very fragile because it's basically dried plant that's being shipped from one side of the world to the other, pretty much.
Yeah, but she's shipping with DHL, and that's a German post office. Okay, you pay a little bit more, but your package is in the right hands.
Right. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things we have DHL over here as well. It's very expensive, but it's basically if you want it to not come in mangled,
right?
You probably want to ship it DHL or Federal Express domestically here is pretty good most of the time. But so that's wild, and that's a real dice roll too, because you're finding people on Instagram and you don't have a review rating on Instagram, so I know that people have have to do some actual homework and see are there other people who have bought from this person that will vouch for you, and
you take a risk. You take a risk. That's true. And but most of the time they already sold their products to other people, and you can see that those people tag that person, so you can see that message, and if it's okay, it's safe.
It's just you got to do your homework, but that's how it's got to be. If you're getting those really rare, those really nice things, those people usually are not setting up a fancy storefront or whatever. I just bought from this guy, Greedy Designs. He sells only on Facebook right now, and he does these 3D printed kits, custom kits for specific Hot Wheels bodies. And so I bought a few from him because I try to, whenever I find somebody who's up and coming and trying to get a business off the ground for 164 scale stuff, I try to support them when I can. So I'm looking forward to trying his stuff out. I know Derek over at Honest Diecast just did a review of his stuff and really liked it. So I'm hoping that'll take off for him. So I'm sorry to hear. I just released my video on an SK75 Works kit, and sadly he is currently not doing kits. I know he had some technical things that he had to deal with, and I'm hoping he comes back soon, because his kits, he did laser cut wood kits, and they are fantastic.
And, they're really good.
And I got a couple of those. That's another vendor that does some more European. His stuff is much more British European looking, but still has that kind of Western look to it. He's got some more industrial buildings as well. But yeah, I'm hopeful that as the popularity for displaying stuff over here, because it's funny, in the US, when you think about a US collector displaying stuff, it's a wall of carded cars. They've just thumbtacked a whole bunch of wall, which is fine if that's what you want.
Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely,
there's nothing wrong with that. But it's really not been until recently that people here have seen dioramas as anything other than the play sets that Hot Wheels would sell. And it's no, there's a whole world of really accurate stuff out there. And especially for those of us who like to crack open our cars out of the blister packs and display them like they would look like cars in the real world. And I love that set that Mark brought up, the Miho set. That's really cool too, because there's some people who just want to show off the cars and just don't need the flash and the hassle of dusting, because I'm watching all your dioramas. I'm glad you've got them behind a glass door, which is good, because I've got a few that I've had sitting out and I'm like, oh no, they get dusty. And then you have to deal with that. Fortunately, most of the stuff I have out is already supposed to look rusty and dusty, so you can't tell. But yeah,
there you
go. So do you have any further tips that you might offer to somebody who's looking to up their diorama display or just in general display game?
Well, the dioramas that I bought in the beginning are eating dust at this moment, and I have the most fun with the better looking dioramas.
Sure.
They giving me the best photos, and so if you're buying a diorama, do it good. Buy something like Magic City.
Yeah, spend the money.
They're not cheap. They're like, I think, $100 a piece. But then you have a really good diorama.
Yeah, and realistically, how many do you need? Most people only have a shelf or two that they want to actually show stuff off on.
Space is a big problem.
Yeah. So I'm amazed, because I know that you've made a lot with the economy of space that you have. Like, you've got a ton of really great display space in your house, but but your house is pretty much just diecast stuff, right? Like, you've kept it pretty. Or are we just like seeing like one room, or is this like it seems like everywhere you turn in your house, it's like.
I try to keep it in one room, but there are more places in the house that are infected with diecast.
Yeah. And there was another one I wanted to bring up, because it's called Shoutout, SJOCal.
Yeah, Shoutout. It's a Dutchman, and he also makes very cool dioramas.
Yeah, I wanted to bring him up, because he just reached out to me and asked if I would review a kit from him.
He's a cool guy. Definitely do that. He has some very nice dioramas, and also the wood laser cutting. He's doing that.
Okay.
And he's now coming with some new dioramas. And I did a review about one of those dioramas. Sure where it is, but that one was really cool. But he has a couple of dioramas, and he's definitely worth interviewing.
We're hoping to have him on the show as well, so we can get the Netherlands trifecta of you, Tom, and him on the show. So we had a lot of fun with Tom. He's a very fun guy. Like, good grief, what an experience that guy has, running this giant diecast store, and then owning Greenlight pretty much for like a long time too. That's just wild.
Yeah, not anymore. Huh? He sold
it a few months ago, and they just announced the new head of Greenlight, and so we're excited. He did an amazing thing with Greenlight, because Greenlight was not known for doing good diecast cars before he came along, and he really made it what it is now. So I hope that it's in good hands. He said that he wouldn't sell it unless he thought it was in good hands, and he thought that these people would.
Walterston bought it.
Yeah. So he seems like he's pretty happy with the outcome there. So.
I think Walterston is a good company to have Greenlight, because they're making some really cool stuff.
Yeah. So, well, it's we've said it before, and I know David would be saying this right now, that this is like the best time to be in the hobby. Like, we are in a time like no other, with the accessibility and the new stuff that's coming out, and these amazing companies like Tarmac Works that are doing these really cool, the oil can displays and the new models and just wild stuff that we would have never thought we would see. And
and all those details and all those figures, it's getting better each year. It's amazing.
It really is. So, well, cool. Well, is there before we wrap things up too much, is there anything coming down uh in the near future that you're really looking forward to, something that's really stood out?
Ooh, well, there is this new brand pop race, new Diecast brand 164. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that pop race. It is pretty popular right now, and a lot of people are talking about it. And they are coming with some very cool models that I'm looking forward to, including a Mercedes-Benz E190 and a very cool McLaren. Not pronounced yet, but I know it's coming.
Yeah, it kind of has a mini GT vibe to it to me.
Yeah,
mini GT vibe. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can compare it with mini GT. There's still room for improvement, but they are heading the right way.
Yeah, mini GT is a good way to be heading. They're pretty top of the game there. Yeah, I agree. I think it's really exciting stuff. It's so funny seeing this stuff coming out, and you know, guys like Shoutout and Magic City, and you know, I'm glad that there's some of it happening in the US, but you know, it's still so funny that it, like, the difference in culture and displays being so different, and it just be like, I would have, if I was not in the hobby before, never thought Indonesia is the place to go for dioramas, you know. But then you go on YouTube and you look at these, you know, some of the builders that I follow, he's got a name that's like Bear something, and it's incredible that the work he does. It's like his name is Bear in Indonesia, and just incredible details. And he's doing this really great tutorial stuff. He's like the Yogi of diorama building, and just incredible stuff. I'm hoping maybe they'll do a collab someday, but
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. So, all righty, Mark, you got anything else while we're here?
Not really. I just you know, besides getting that speaking of Yogi, getting that, just doing the unboxing video. I'm not sure if you guys saw that.
Everyone, please go check out Dotson Man Diecast, because he's got that really cool unboxing, and something I didn't think we'd ever see. Like, I didn't think that Yogi would ever do release his stuff for the public, because when we interviewed him very early on, he was like, you know, I don't sell any of them. They're all in my collection. So very rare piece indeed, and very cool that he's been he auctioned a piece off for Diecast Day of Giving too, which was super cool.
Yeah, I think he raised like $1,400 for that car. $1,400.
It's worth every penny. You know, that's his stuff is works of art. You know, can't beat it. So
yeah, I can attest to that for sure. Yeah.
All righty. Well, very cool. Well, Dan, I know it is after midnight for you, and I can't thank you enough for joining us live. It was a delight, as always, to have you back on.
It was my pleasure.
And of course, everyone knows Diecast Dude. Go check him out. He's at nearly 60,000 subscribers, which is incredible.
What?
You know, you're like 58,000 and change, man. I was like, I think he's got like 20,000 subscribers. And I was like, well, maybe when we interviewed you the first time, but man, it's just like taken off, man. And you know, watch that Namek review, because it's unbelievable. I can't believe that stuff like that exists, that it's like a candy land of diecast toys, and not toys, collectible items. Sorry. And you know, just an amazing treat to chat with you and see your collection. I'm always blown away seeing your collection, and we'll look forward to having you on again real soon. Is there anything in particular you want to shout out or tell people to go check out while we're here?
Well, no, the most you've already said the most. The Namek video, I just posted a new Namek video this evening, so that is pretty cool. Almost an hour of Namek, and I did the same last week. So I split it up in 2 parts, because or else it was way too long. I have a lot of new diecast. I bought a lot of new diecast. There is a mountain of packages from AliExpress and other
Sure.
parts of the world that I still have to do a review about. So I have a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Well, it is. I love following your channel because you always have the latest stuff and always the cool, you've got the other guys doing like just the castings and stuff, but you've got all the like accessories and the
Yeah.
cool, side stuff that goes along with it that
Yeah.
I love. So
Bring your diecast to life.
exactly. And so thank you again for sharing with everyone how you bring yours to life. I hope it inspires people to go out and try new things, try new brands, reach out there, take that risk, read the reviews first, but make that buy on AliExpress and give it some time and see what happens.
It is safe.
Try
Do
it.
it.
It is
Try
safe.
it.
Gotta try it. So, all right. Well, again, thank you everyone so much for making it to the end of another episode of Diecast Breakdown. We want to thank our patrons who have done an amazing job supporting this show. We are so grateful to all of them. And if you want to know more about supporting the show, you can visit diecastbreakdown.com or you can hit the little join button below and you get a few extra perks to it. Right now, we're a little light on the perks because we all have lives that we're doing, but we are hoping to add more cool stuff for our supporters in the near future. And we are so grateful to the folks that are in faith supporting this thing. They don't have to do it, but we are extremely grateful to them. And we're grateful to you for making it to the end of another episode, liking and subscribing and all that good stuff. So as always, we want to thank you for coming along with us for the ride. So until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags.
Bye.